What's up, everybody? We are back. Welcome to the Brofluent podcast. I am your humble, highly knowledgeable co-host, Eric Sika, and we have Brother Tom, as always, the creator, the curator, and the other co-host of the show. How you doing, bro?
What's up, bro? I'm doing good. I'm pumped for today, man. We got a lot of shit to get into, and we're doing a lot of new shit today, so I'm pumped.
100%. Some of y'all might notice. If you're listening to this right now, you are most likely on the Podbean app. Shout out Podbean. We are in the process of getting approved by Apple Podcasts and Spotify, as well as any other podcast platform. We are still going to be on YouTube to those that want to get a visual along with the audio. So still subscribe at Brofluent at the Brofluent channel. It just says Brofluent, so I don't know how else you want me to describe it. But
Simple enough.
Exactly. But if you go on Podbean, it's the Brofluent podcast. Instagram, don't forget, at Brofluent. Check it out. It's going to be in the bottom of your screen, as always, on the video. But I think it's time to get into it now that everyone knows where to find us.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
So the first thing I want to get into is let's be a little happy, man. The NBA is back already.
Dude, I'm very excited. I feel a little bad, though, to be honest, for some of the players that were in the bubble. I feel like they got no break. Now, I don't know the exact time, like, as it is compared to a normal season, but I just feel like I was just watching LeBron win a championship, and all of a sudden he wants to play again. It's like, damn, dude. I mean, he doesn't necessarily want to play, but the NBA wants to play. So I feel a little bad that they're getting right back into it so fast.
Right. I mean, I agree to a point because it's like it does feel like the season just ended yesterday.
Yeah.
Like the off season went like that. The training camp started last week. It feels like that's already going into the preseason. But in retrospect, you did have 3 months off in the middle of the season, and some other teams have had 8 months off. So it does kind of suck for the bubble teams, but
like you see people like Trae Young, right? He tweets like, "Man, I can't wait to get back at it because I've been out for 8 months." Like that, I understand. But then you see, I saw you put on Twitter, and I liked it as well because it was funny as hell. Damian Lillard said something, and somebody commented on it. I was like, bro, your team was out in the first round. No wonder the bubble was hard. You were out in the first round.
That's actually something that's not on our agenda that I think we can talk about.
Yeah.
Bron came out, as we've seen Bron's comments, saying that he felt that he won 2 of the hardest championships in NBA history with the Cleveland down 3-1 and the bubble championship. And Dame came out and said the bubble was easy, but he also came back and he didn't backtrack his statement. He kind of just clarified. His point was it felt easy because it was easier to play at your best since there's no travel and stuff like that.
Agree with.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, because we know
there's no road pressure. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and we know as a team that had when we were playing, we had a team that played in Virginia, and we're the furthest. We were the north. Scranton's all the way far from Philly and Virginia and Delaware, and we always had to take the big road trips. And you saw we were very different at home than we were away.
Yeah, I mean, it's always you always want to be at home, and in the bubble, it's kind of like it's not even like everyone's a home team, but nobody's an away team either.
Right.
So it's weird, you know.
Right. Do you feel that it's that this was one of the hardest, as Bron said?
I think it has to be, not because I'm a LeBron lover, and that's what everyone wants to say. I'm defending LeBron, but I think it has to be. No one's ever played a season like this where in the middle of the season, if you're in your rhythm and your team's coming together, all of a sudden, hey, we're going to stop playing now. We're off for 3 months. You got to start all over when you're off for 3 months. So you got to come back, get your team in rhythm. You know, you don't know what players are doing when they're on the break. Not being able to see your family, people don't think that's a big deal. They think, oh, you're in the NBA, you make millions of dollars. We know we played Division III college basketball, and we got sick of basketball. We 100%. Got sick, right? Mid-season, you're like you still love it, but you're like, damn, this is a grind, bro. Like,
and we're playing 25, not 82. 30 if we make a playoff run.
I could take a week break right now. That would be perfect. Now imagine, I know you're getting paid millions of dollars and it's your job, but I'm just saying on your body and on your mind, being in the same hotel, your own room, it's just basketball for months. And I know it's a job, but it could be tough, man. That could be tough. I think it's a hard championship. It's not easy. So anyone who's saying it's easy, like Skip Bayless or something, just because they hit it, doesn't make sense. But I think he has a valid point. And the 3-1's the best comeback ever. We know that.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's the hardest championship ever.
Yeah,
Being
I'd probably
down
say that's the
3-1.
hardest, but
I give
this
them that one.
difficult.
This one I agree with you that it was hard. But I feel like I just put it in the realm of every other championship because I feel like when you take out the travel and all that, and then you're able to uplift. I understand what Dame's saying, where it's also
Yeah,
like you're also gonna have that balance of everyone's gonna be able to play good because you're able to recover quick. It's basically like everyone's playing home games.
yeah,
When someone gets in a rhythm, it's gonna be hard for them to get out of rhythm. But I also understand how it's not easy either. Like nothing about that is easy.
yeah,
Like
not at all.
I don't want to think
I
that
think
either.
that situation, like a player like Tyler Harrow, right? For example, you don't
Hmm.
see a player break out like that normally as a rookie, right?
Right.
In playoffs, you normally don't see that because the playoffs are hard. Teams tighten up the defense. When you're on the road, you're playing a road playoff game. That shit's difficult. Listen, I think Tyler Harrow's a great player, but in
Right.
this environment, right? I think players like that, as we saw, can have a way better performance. Like, there's no pressure. It's not like he wasn't going to Boston and playing in the Garden when everyone's screaming at him every time
Right.
he shoots, you know? So I think that definitely played a role in it.
And I feel like that's what balances it out. I don't want to be like Braun and be like that's the second hardest championship ever. I'm gonna be like, no, it's a ring. It's a ring. It's a hard earned ring. You got it. You deserved it. It wasn't easy. I'm not taking anything away from you, but the same factors that played into it being more difficult, there's also factors that played into it making it a little easier. So,
Yeah, I agree.
um, yeah, so I mean, that's something we didn't expect to touch on, but it came up. So the main thing that I feel we have to discuss, especially with it being the NBA, is the James Harden saga. For y'all that don't know, James Harden is supposedly requested a trade out of Houston. He's been to Lil Baby's birthday party. He's been to multiple strip clubs. He is
Give little baby a giant present too. That shit was
right. He's not. He gave him a Prada bag because he's proud of him, and and I mean he didn't show up to camp on time. He's going through a bunch of COVID tests. He doesn't expect to play in the preseason.
yeah.
There's news of new teams and all this.
I believe today came out he added Milwaukee and someone else
Miami,
and
Miami.
Miami to it, which Milwaukee did not. I expected Miami. Milwaukee's a little bit of a surprise.
Right. And I feel like before we get into the teams, what do you think about it? Like, what do you think the situation is? Do you think he's
Um,
going? Do you think this is like a old Kobe situation where he requested a trade, but it's just pressure him to do something,
yeah,
then they keep him?
I think he generally wants out of Houston. I don't know if that's the best thing for him. I think when we saw and when we heard probably a month ago that Harden and Russ like wanted out, we were like, oh, or we heard it Russ wanted out or whatever. We're like, oh, it's gonna
Right.
blow up there. And then we heard James Harden say, no, I want to stay. And we're like, oh, okay, so it's still Harden's franchise. And then now a huge thing came out with, oh, he wants Brooklyn. But
Right.
Houston doesn't want to send him to Brooklyn unless he gets KD or Kyrie, which isn't going to happen.
Not at
Or
all.
no sense. They can keep asking; they're never going to change. So I think Harden wants out because he knows that team is in a title contender right now. I think them going out and making the trade with Russell Westbrook for John Wall was, I guess, good because we saw what Russ and Harden could be. Like that's what they were. They weren't going to change this year and be better. They'd be the same team, I think, last year.
Right.
And the addition of Boogie Cousins was interesting. So I think when you look at it as John Wall, James Harden, and DeMarcus Cousins, it's like, oh, that's interesting. Now they don't fit with each other very well. Wall doesn't really fit with Harden. Harden needs the ball. Wall's not a shooter. It doesn't fit.
Do you think Wall doesn't fit though? Because I'm kind of in. People are in the realm of John Wall is very Russell Westbrook because of his athleticism. I think John Wall could actually play very similar to CP3's role, where he focuses on his mid-range game more,
I think
opposed to his athleticism.
I
And
think
I just think it's a possibility.
Wall plays a smarter game than Russ, as do most point guards. Even though I love Russ,
He's a better facilitator too, even though Russ did average a triple double. It's like
yeah, but we know Russ. He's insane. He just runs with the ball, does what he wants to.
right,
Wall has a nice pace to his game where he can slow up or speed up. We know how fast he is. We got to see him coming off injury, but we know how fast he is.
right,
I think with CP3, right? If you're comparing him to CP3 was a good 3-point shooter. I don't think anyone would say John Wall is as good a 3-point shooter as CP3 is.
hmm
I think that kind of hurts because Harden needs that ball, and Harden's a great passer. But I don't know. I just don't see it as a perfect fit now. I love Wall coming back. I think Wall is a fantastic point guard. We got to see him off injury, but I like Harden staying there in Houston and seeing what that team would look like with a new coach. You're not running that same system where it's just 3 balls all day. Who's their coach now?
Steven Silas from Dallas.
Yeah, it'd be interesting what system he would implement for Harden. Which I'd like to see him stay in Houston. Actually, I'd hate to see. I liked last year when we had teams with 2 guys on every team, and I was like, oh, these guys got to go up against each other, right? It was Kawhi, PG, LeBron, AD. When a team gets 3, it's like, right, everyone tends to say it's stacked.
Right.
KD, Steph, Clay, or LeBron, D-Wade, Bosh.
Right.
I think the 2 stars is cool and competitive. If he goes to Brooklyn, I wouldn't be too happy to see that. You as a Brooklyn fan would be. I really think Milwaukee could make a play for him around a package with Chris Middleton and some young players, because that would keep Houston relevant with Chris Middleton, Wall, and Cousins. Like he'll probably make the playoffs, probably won't win anything, but Miami, I don't see Miami doing. I don't know if Harden
and Jimmy
is that kind of player that wants to be in Miami like that. Like Jimmy's that tough, rugged, let's play defense every day. We're going to work. I'm not sure if Harden fits that Miami culture, and they just made it to the finals last year. Why do they need to trade those young guys that are on the come up?
Right.
So I think it's an interesting saga that I didn't expect to happen in the offseason. I thought maybe Russ would be gone, but Harden would definitely be staying.
Right.
So it's interesting. I think don't sleep. This is coming out of nowhere. Don't sleep on the Thunder coming in there and throwing 4 first-round picks for James Harden.
You're crazy.
My friend goes, what would you think about the Thunder coming in there throwing a couple picks? I wouldn't be mad.
Shy James and Al Horford.
Bro, I was talking to my friend. I'm like, he's also a Thunder fan. I'm like, yo, who's even our roster? Who's our starting 5? We generally, off the top of our head, could not figure out who our starting 5 is. We're like, George Hill.
I think that's the big thing, too. Are you playing Shy at the 2 or the 1?
I guess we're playing him at the 2. We played him last year at 2 at CP3. We'll probably do the same thing.
So you're going to bench Lou Dort?
Dude, I don't know. We're like, who's our 3? I'm like, I don't even know. I don't have to know. I guess it's Dort, but we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, see, look, from my perspective, I feel that it's in Houston's hands. Like, I don't think Harden has much leverage because the way his contract is, too, he can go anywhere, especially for the contending teams that would go for him. I'm as much as I would love for him to go to Brooklyn, it doesn't make sense. I don't think they're going to do it because if Houston's going to demand Kyrie or KD, there's no use of talking to him. And realistically, your package is going to have to include Harris, Spencer Dinwiddie, either Jarrett Allen or Joe Harris, and probably a pick. And I feel like you're going to decimate your bench for no reason. So that's kind of a weird situation. When it comes to the Sixers, I think they could do it, but it would have to be a package around Tobias Harris, not around Ben Simmons, and I don't know if Houston's going to do that. Like you said, I like Milwaukee for Chris Middleton, but does Milwaukee want to give up Chris Middleton and then put, Drew Holiday at the 1? And
yeah, we know Milwaukee loves Chris Middleton for some reason.
Right. So it's just there's a lot of it. The Heat can't get him. I know he's bringing up the Heat, but the Heat can't get him because even I was on the ESPN trade machine looking at stuff like, there's no way.
Right.
If Miami gets him, they have to give up probably Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Herro, Kelly Olynyk, Duncan Robinson, and it's like it decimates their team to the point where there's no reason.
Like that.
Exactly. So it just makes no sense. But a wild card, I think that can get him. And it would be a 3-team trade, and it would involve Kyle Lowry going to somewhere else. Toronto. I like Toronto with James and Pascal.
6?
I think that'd be really interesting.
Listen, if Harden finds his way to the East on a team like Toronto, that's automatically a finals contender.
He could even go to Boston, which is really funny. If they do it for Jaylen Brown, he can even go to Boston.
I would never be able to picture James Harden in a Celtic jersey.
Oh no, that's so difficult. Like some of these teams make no sense. Like if Houston wants straight up 4 first-round picks and Al Horford for James Harden.
Bring Harden to OKC, man. I'll take that.
But it's an interesting thing. I think I just don't know what they're gonna do. I feel like we should prepare for him to move. I think day 1 he's going to be in Houston. I think he's going to start the season in Houston, and I think it's going to depend how the season goes because I could see them convincing him if John Wall's having a good year and the John Wall and Boogie experiments kind of working.
I love that John Wall and Boogie are back together. Like
I love that too.
all the
People aren't
picks
talking
I'm
about
seeing,
that.
all the picks I'm seeing, I'm like, this is cool, man. I like to see them back together.
And no one's talking about it. I don't know why. They're like, oh, I don't know what Houston's doing. Like, bro, like you're getting John Wall and Boogie both motivated, coming off of injuries, a
Yeah.
new coach, maybe James Harden, maybe not, and you have Christian Wood. Like, it can be a little interesting team.
Yeah, I like what they did there.
But other than that, like we said, with the preseason around the corner, I think we should get into some predictions. A lot happened in free agency.
All right, let's do it.
A lot happened throughout the East and the West. It seems like there's been a shift to the East. I don't want to say it's Braun driven, but you're seeing a lot of stars go to the East now.
Hey,
And
all that talk when LeBron was in the East, he can't win if he came to the West. Now everyone from the West seems to want to migrate East because they see that monster team in LA.
yeah, I think a lot of teams just fell off another way. I think when KD went to the East, I feel a lot of teams fell apart after the Warriors. Like you're seeing the Rockets fall apart.
Yeah, I agree.
Even when Giannis is talking, he's talking about staying in the East. He's not really talking about going West. And then Kawhi and PG, we don't really know what that is. So, how do you like the landscape of the NBA right now? Because I think we're gonna have one of the best seasons we've ever had of NBA basketball.
I agree, man. I think it all depends if they're going to do this bubble thing again, how the season's going to be handled with Corona, and hopefully, we don't have to take a 3-month hiatus again. But I definitely think it's going to be an awesome season because there's not one team that's stacked. There's no Golden State Warriors of a couple of years ago. There's no Miami Heat with Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. So I think when you have the two stars, like I was saying, I think the Lakers will be favored to start the year, as they should be. I think the Clippers, it's going to be so interesting to see how that team plays. Losing Montrez. I know they've added some pieces, but we've heard a lot about Paul George not playing well. Then we heard, hey, maybe they should trade for Russell Westbrook because they need another player.
Right.
So we'll see how those guys are.
So let's get into that though. What do we think of the Lakers? Let's start that free agency right there. What are the Lakers? What are the Clippers? Start with LA.
The Lakers are going to be the favorite, adding Dennis Schroeder, Marc Gasol, looking like Pal might come back to join his brother.
That's so interesting. I had that as something to close with. Like, are we like just a little hot take?
I would love to see Pal back in a Lakers uniform, bro. Come on, that would be sick. Him and I don't know how much.
I love it too.
But when he played for the Lakers with Kobe, man, he was awesome. Obviously, he's not that player now. But
should they retire his jersey?
No, he was only there.
You don't think so?
Nah, he was there for like what?
I think because it's a weird number, they should do it. I don't think many people are vying to wear 16, especially in LA. So I think that he won a championship. He's the second guy. Give it to him. He's a Laker. He's more of a Laker than a Grizzly, even though
that's a fact.
So I mean, hang it up there, man.
But to get back to it, the Lakers definitely the favorite, number one. I think Dennis Schroeder is going to play an important role on that team. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if he's going to be a starter. But
I don't think he will.
We've seen in OKC, it doesn't matter what role he's in. He's going to produce.
He's going to play 30 minutes off the bench.
Yeah,
he's basically a starter.
He's really a really good young player. And CP3 said that last year, the Thunder. He's like, Dennis Schroeder can play, man. This kid is really good. And I think that six-man role where he lights it up. He's so fast. He can shoot threes.
So you feel the Lakers got better? I
feel the Lakers got better. Montrez and Dennis Schroeder?
See, here's the thing. I think they're kind of the same to me. Marc Gasol over JaVale McGee is definitely an upgrade. Even though Marc Gasol, I don't want to act like this is the old Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol had a very noticeable decline last year. I think he'll be good, but I think he's going to be a specific matchup for Jokic and maybe freeing up AD a little bit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Dennis Schroeder, I like him.
He's better. Okay, listen, Rondo played very well in the playoffs at the end of the finals.
Right.
We know Schroeder is a better player than Rondo.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with that. But I'm saying that we're going back to the idea that Bron's the main playmaker. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they took a playmaking thing. So I'm kind of interested of how it sees. I see him as the same because I think Montrezl is a defensive liability compared to Dwight Howard.
I think them losing Dwight, now they filled it in, but Dwight really was important for them in the bubble. The way he played defense and blocked shots, and it really seemed like people liked him on that team. Like he was a glue kind of guy for them, and they really liked having him on the team.
Right.
Him going to Philly, which I think is another good role for him actually in Philly, right behind Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just think it's weird because what's your closing lineup going to be? I'm assuming you're going to have Schroeder out there, KCP.
Bron, Schroeder, KCP, they re-signed KCP because he was shooting the ball very well.
He deserve. I mean, that's a lot of money, but he deserved to come
Listen,
back.
we bagged on him in the regular season because he was bad. And we were like, this kid stinks.
And is Wesley Matthews an upgrade over Danny Green? I know Danny Green didn't have a good bubble, but I feel like
think because of the decline of Danny Green last season, I think it is a little bit of a. I think you have a point where saying they're basically the same. I think they're like 4% better than they were last year. But when you're talking about a team defending champion getting 4% better, they're obviously still a title favorite.
Okay, I mean, I like the Marc Gasol over JaVale move.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I feel like Wesley's a little downgrade over Danny Green. I don't see him doing anything different, even though Danny didn't shoot well. Because when we talked about the bubble and we talked about guys getting in rhythm in the bubble, I think Danny Green was one of those guys where he got out of rhythm in the bubble and he couldn't find it because it was just one of those things like I can't shoot in here. I don't know what it is. It's different.
Yeah, he couldn't make a shot.
He was still a good defender. I mean, you lost Avery Bradley, but did you ever really have Avery Bradley?
You didn't have him at any point.
So they're interesting. Then the Clippers, though, I think Serge is a big upgrade over Montrezl.
I think Serge is a great fit. I told you anywhere he went, he's a good fit. Shot blocker, he can step out 3-point range. He's a good fit anywhere. The Clippers, it comes down though to Paul George. It really does. We know Kawhi Leonard's going to perform for the most part. He had a little bit of down games, but his down games were still 20 points scored, right? Like still being the man. We've seen PG just disappear. And as a Thunder fan, I know it, man. When he was having that MVP conversation year with the Oklahoma City Thunder, I was screaming, this is our guy. This is PG. And then we got to the playoffs, man, and he was bricking shit left and right.
Oh, 100%.
Now, I know he hurt his shoulder that year, and that's what – I'm not going to say he uses it as an excuse, but that's what, could be a problem. And I don't think he's honestly been the same player since that shoulder problem shooting the ball. He's still an amazing athlete, still a great defender. But when you're him and you're considered a top player in the league, you've got to be putting up 20 to 25 points a game efficiently, and he wasn't doing that. I think it comes down to him. I think it's an interesting dynamic with the team because I think some of the team was like, damn, man, like this kid is not what we –
You like what he said about Doc? You like what he said about Doc?
Tell me what he said because I heard Doc said something back, but I wasn't sure it was true. So I want to hear what
PG said on All the Smoke, and they actually dropped the full episode.
I was just a shooter, right? Or something like
that? He was trying to use me like J.J. Redick and Ray Allen, and he wanted to get more in the pick and roll. And then Kevin O'Connor came out and said, when you look at the stats, he was using the pick and roll more than ever in his career. More than anybody, anytime in his career. That's the most.
I've even heard none of that, and I knew that's bullshit because if you're out there on the court, bro, and you're Paul George, one of the best players in the league, you do what you want with the ball. Like, you're not just standing there waiting for them to pass it to you.
Right, and then Doc came out and said, well, if he feels that way, Ty Lue was right next to me, so it's not going to get a lot different. And I thought that was a perfect response.
That's what I saw. I saw a meme, I think it was. I don't think it was, but I think they were trying to make it look like it was real, but it was like, if this was real, bro, I would Doc Rivers.
I know what you're talking about. My God.
How are you going to – what are you going to do with Ben Simmons? He can't shoot or whatever. And it was like, man, I had Paul George last year. It ain't any different.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
I wish he said that.
I know. I was like, there's no way he said that. They made it look real in the headlines too. They almost got me with that one. But I was cracking up when I saw that.
That was hilarious. And I agree with what you're saying about the Clippers. Like, my big question is, why don't they go get Isaiah Thomas? Like, I think that's a perfect fit for their team.
I agree. That's a great fit.
And, I mean, I get they brought Luke Kennard in. We'll see what that is.
That's a nice piece because Kawhi and Paul George will play make, and he'll be a shooter to have out there.
And I mean, I don't get this thing that like they need a point guard. Like, I don't think it's like that big of a deal, but they'll be nice. Well, one of my hot takes is I expect Denver to even though they lost Jeremy Grant, I expect JaMychal Green to fill that role in good. I think Bull, Michael Porter Jr. and RJ Henderson.
Of them. They look dirty.
Yo, that's what I was watching. I'm looking. I'm like, yo, they look really good. Like, I don't know what it is, but like people forgot that they have these young guys. And RJ Hampton looks better than I thought. I wasn't a big fan of him in the
I
in the
100%
draft,
agree.
but
Listen,
he
I was
looks
just going to
good.
ask you too. What do you think of the Denver Nuggets? It's funny you said that's the next team
Yeah, they're
because
third for me. I'd say this is my 1, 2, 3 in the West.
we see Jamal Murray blossom into a superstar in the bubble. Now we got to see it in a normal season what it looks like, but I don't think it's going to be any different. He's a stud. Jokic is the best center in basketball if you don't consider AD, 4 or 5. Jokic is there. He's better than Embiid. Just we've seen how far he can go in the playoffs. And Michael Porter Jr. We both talked about how much we like him, me especially. He
Mm-hmm.
he looks like he's 6'10", can shoot, can dribble. I don't think he's a superstar yet, but he's gonna start breaking out.
He's gonna get a real opportunity.
Or next season soon enough. Listen, that franchise is so well run. I'm blanking on their GM's name right now. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just know Mike Malone coaches.
I just know Mike Malone's a
out of
great
that
coach.
team.
But that whole franchise, the way they're run, is absolutely fit. Calvin Booth is our general manager. Never even
Calvin Booth.
But shout out
in
to
the
him
booth.
that
Shout
team.
out to the booth.
I think every year, right, we see in the draft, oh, this player's dropping, injury concerns. Michael Porter Jr. And these players turn into Michael Porter Jr., Bull. Now they get R.J. Hampton. It's like, not to mention they have guys who are under 25 named Jamal Murray, Jokic. It's like
Monte Morris got a big extension, well deserved. PJ Dozier had a good playoff.
So
maybe his role.
Talented. I think if they could I think they're good enough already, but I think if they were able to get a veteran who is not a superstar, but maybe a star. Not that I think Gordon Hayward's a star, but if they got to put like Gordon Hayward there, and now you have Murray, Hayward, Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., it's like, okay, this team's title contenders.
See, I feel like it's already in that way of I think they're going to end up starting because they have Gary Harris that people forget. Will Barton was hurt during the playoffs. That's my guy. Shout out Will. Will the Thrill Barton.
Will the Thrill.
Oh my gosh. But I think they're going to start them, and I think Barton's going to be their sixth man, and then they'll have Monte, Bull probably, and RJ or Dozier. They probably need another backup big.
We think Bol gets real time this year?
I think he's going to get real time this year. I think the way he said he's looking for Rookie of the Year. He said he's looking for Rookie of the Year this year. And if that's I don't think he would have said that if he didn't expect to have a lot more minutes this year.
I agree with you.
Because he's their only backup bit. I mean, you have JaMychal Green and you're starting Paul Millsap. So JaMychal Green, Bobo.
We need him to stay healthy. Bobo.
People act like they lost their depth, and I don't think they did.
I don't think. And listen, every year, role players come and go. You replace them. You see what the Lakers did. Rondo's out, Schroeder's in. Right? Like we can replace role players as long as you have your like 5 staples: Murray, Jokic, Port. Like you're gonna be a contender.
And I have another hot take for you. It is a big one because clearly the Nuggets one wasn't that big of a hot take. I think a lot of people thought they were going to regress. Yeah. I don't agree. But I think the Washington Wizards are going to be the 6th seed in the East. 6th or 7th seed in the East. Someone's going to drop out.
When I see the trade, Russell Westbrook going to Washington, I go, oh, okay. Russ is still my favorite player in the league, even though I hate the way he plays sometimes. He's still my favorite player from being on the Thunder. He's the greatest player in Thunder history. Don't say Kevin Durant. It's Russell Westbrook is the greatest player.
It's Kevin Durant.
It's Russell Westbrook, okay? Now, him going to Washington, you're already seeing shit. Man, the energy on this team has went up 100. Who said that?
Looks crazy.
They were saying, I forget what team they said. They said, Russ got here, all of a sudden, this team is running differently.
I think Bradley Beal might average 30 again.
Bradley, first of all, that dunk, did you see him rip baseline?
Baseline, up top.
Russ, like, let's go. I'm like, listen, not that they're a good team, but
they are a good team, though.
I don't know if they're good. Let's relax.
Rui Hachimura is gonna get better off of last year. I think he was all rookie.
Bryant at the 5. He's a good backup, I think.
I think Thomas Bryant's very underrated. He only played 30 games last year.
Good backup.
You brought in Denny Avdia through the draft.
That's true. I actually do like what they're doing, but
even Robin Lopez, I mean, that's a good backup big. Mo Wagner had a good year. I think this team's going to really surprise people.
I would really love to see it because I root for Russ, man. He gets so much hate, but the guy just plays so hard. And the hate, is – I understand it because sometimes you're like, bro, just slow down. But the guy plays so hard, man. He's a dog. I hope the best for Washington because I like Bradley Beal a lot too. He was kind of getting effed over with everything with Wall and him. Always,
How was he not an all-star last year?
Wall and him hate each other. And then you see him post like, "Yo, this is my brother. You guys have no idea." Like,
Oh,
being
yeah.
like this, and I'm like that. Like that's the real shit right there. So I expect him and Russ to play well together, though. I think they'll be running up and down the court. He'll be shooting threes. Russ will be attacking in addition, and they'll definitely make the playoffs. I don't know about 6, maybe.
I think
maybe 7,
6.
but I'm rooting for it. I'm definitely rooting for it.
6 or 7. 7's the lowest I'll go.
I got one for you because it revolves around our boy, the Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte Hornets.
Hello, Ball.
They're gonna make it.
Rozier, Devontae Graham, P.J. Washington. We got some players to work with. And have you seen him in practice dishing the ball?
Oh yeah, no, he's getting dimes.
My man is he is all Coach Barrago, whatever the hell his name is.
Borrego, yeah.
He's like, man, I've never seen a kid pass like this before at this age. If you're running down the court, you better have your hands up because that ball's coming, and if it's going to hit you in the face if you don't got your hands up. And
so do you expect Gordon Hayward to really be a secondary star?
I think Hayward might have a nice year in Charlotte. I really do. I was bagging on him last year saying, you got to get him out. You got to put Brown and Tatum and those young boys in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on the Hornets team, he actually fits in well. Now, I don't agree with the contract because it's a lot. But then also you have to look at it that it's Charlotte. Who else is even going to go there? So I do understand that part of it. I think it's a cool young team, and we root for LaMelo here. So I think
we are big LaMelo guys.
Rookie of the Year, and Charlotte. Can we get an 8 seed in Charlotte? Can we get an 8 seed?
I see. My thing is I don't see them being better than Atlanta or Washington or See, that's the surprising thing. People are gonna hate on this, but I think Indiana's the team that drops out, and I say that because
trouble.
I liked Nate McMillan. I think that team was more him than people are giving him credit for.
That was not a smart firing.
Exactly, and I like bringing in someone from the Toronto staff, but that feels like a very oh well, Nick Nurse is such a good coach, so his assistant must be great. Like I don't know if that's gonna work. So
and we've seen Oladipo. It goes back and forth between him wanting out, and wanting to stay. And, they say there's smoke, there's fire. I think obviously someone's here and he wants out. Yeah, if the season's not going well, he's going to be traded.
What if James Harden ends up for Oladipo and get him over to Indy?
That'd be a stupid trade by the Rockets, I think.
I mean, if you get a lot, you get
Sabonis with it or something.
Sabonis and pick is a lot though. You might have to throw a pick if you do Sabonis and pick. It's 2 All-Stars.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, man, I think.
Well, how about this? Because you just mentioned the Hawks. Are you high on the Hawks? Because me personally, I love Trae Young, Ice Trae. We know how dirty he can be, but we know defensively he's not it. We understand that because of his size. I'm not as high as other people on Atlanta, even though I love Trae Young. I think that franchise is it's been a losing franchise now for a while after they had a couple of years with, Teague and Horford and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Lloyd Pierce. Is he still a coach there? Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I liked when they hired him because I heard good stuff about him, but we've yet to see him win. I know the team sucked, but we really haven't seen them grow much either. I think the Herder drafting kind of hasn't worked out well. They were thinking Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. It hasn't necessarily been that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as high on them. I hated the Clint Capella trade because I always say that if you have a team like that, don't push for the now. You've got to be set up for the long term. You have Trae Young. You have these young guys. Don't get rid of assets and picks to get a Clint Capella, who we know isn't that good. We saw in Houston him kind of fade out. Now, I know it's a system in Houston, but I don't think they're that good of a team. I think there's going to be nights where they're really good and you're like, wow. And then I think there's going to be nights where they're losing to teams that are not good. And I think there's a chance they don't make the playoffs.
See, my thing is I can only see them being the 8 seed. I can't see them being any higher.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I do like what they did though, because I feel like they took a lot of pressure off Trae Young to be the only offense there. I feel like John Collins has one foot out the door right now. I don't know if they plan on keeping him.
Which is sad because he's good.
Right, and their bench is going to be Rondo, and then it's going to be so young. I don't know how Chris Dunn's going to play. I actually don't mind Clint Capella there. I like their starting 5. It's just I don't know how the pieces fit.
Yeah,
it seems like it's.
But hey, wait, did you see their court though? That Martin Luther King, I think.
Oh, those MLK jerseys are tough.
Ooh.
I like them.
And the
I actually
torch.
think the Hornets have the best one
The
with the
Hornets
gold trim.
fire.
Yo, did you see the Knicks one?
I don't know if I've seen the Knicks one.
Bro, the Knicks one.
I'm gonna look it up.
Hold up. Oh my god, bro, the Knicks one looks
Go
like
to camera so they can see it. It's bad.
it looks like your first AAU jersey in like third, fourth grade.
No.
Your 10U nice AAU jersey.
Jesus. Hey, what you think about the Mavericks one? That's like white and gold and green.
I like it a lot.
I like it. I like the gold trim, man. Those are poor.
No, they're bad, bro. I don't like the gradient. I don't like anything of it. And do you know what's funny? That's actually a good picture of them. That makes them look better than the other one I saw. Like
Hey, the Hawks ones are fire.
Hawks are tough. Do you like the Pelicans one? I don't really like it. Like, I don't think it's bad. It's just weird.
Can we talk about the city uniforms for a second? Because I've seen a couple that are horrible.
The Clippers just did the same thing they did last year.
Being, first of all, how do you feel about your Brooklyn Nets ones?
Here's why I like it. It's I wish they didn't put the Nets under the Brooklyn, but I like it because
writing on it.
It's a what's
I'll tell you what though, I do like the yellow name. I don't know if you guys can see this because of the flat.
Oh yeah.
The yellow name is fire.
Oh, I forgot who the artist. I think it's Basquiat.
The Hornets Buzz Cities are so nice.
See, the reason I like the Nets jersey is because it's an ode to Basquiat, who's a Brooklyn legend. So I feel like if you're going from Biggie to Basquiat, that's a cool thing to do. They could have did it better, but it's okay. Damn, you can't focus. I can't see him.
That's all right.
What's it, Orlando?
Chicago ones, black and gold.
Chicago's cool.
Dallas is cool. I've seen it getting some hate, but I like the Dallas.
Yo, okay, talk about your team. OKC's is bad.
No, why does every team want to do the stripe now? Every team's got a stripe. They're hideous.
I'm trying to think. Washington was too simple.
Indiana's I like with the
that was tough too. I don't like that Houston went blue.
Oh, Grizzlies is fire. You've seen Ja flexing with the gold Memphis.
Do you know what's funny? I'm actually not big on it. It's cool. Like, I like it. I'm just thinking of one that I'd like to wear.
I know you still can't see it, but I'm still going to show it just in case. But the Pelicans one is horrible.
Yeah, that one's kind of weird.
The, like, saint-looking logos.
It's supposed to be the flag, but it's like, I don't get it.
Real bad. I like Orlando's with the orange.
Oh, yeah, those were hard, too. Who else had? Lakers were solid.
Lakers just got that light blue one, like his classic.
Yeah, the Clippers one's the same. The Nuggets is ugly. San
Antonio's is ugly. It's got the stripe across.
You don't like the San Antonio one? I feel like that was cool that they did that because
why does everybody do the stripe? The stripe is ugly.
But I feel like they do it because they had the the Fiesta logo.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it. Denver's is ugly. Utah's is okay.
Listen, I'm big on how
everyone else is kind of.
I always need my uniforms to be fly.
Look good, feel good.
All right, look good, feel good, play good. But
we played our best in those blacks that we had last year. Love those blacks were hard.
Bro, that's what you need. You look good, you feel good, you play good. That's
100%, bro. But I think the last NBA thing we need to talk about now that we said all of this is just a quick hitter. Do you think Giannis is leaving, staying? They said contracts is slowed down, but who really knows?
I think he's leaving. I don't see them. I see them as the same team as last year. Maybe a little better with True Holiday, right? We've talked about in other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna make this at least the second round. They're gonna have to play a team like Boston, Toronto, Miami, and we see when they play teams like that know how to play Giannis defensively, they struggle. Now, can Giannis take another leap, maybe, and improve his jumper a little bit more? And maybe they reach the finals? I don't think so. It could happen, but I don't think so. So I see him leaving because I think it's going to be the same story as last year. And a guy like Giannis, man, he's so talented and so good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think if we agree, if he found a jump shot, that he's easily the best player in basketball, right? Like, even over LeBron right now because he's old. If Giannis could find a jumper, it's over for everybody. But he's not going to.
Depends how the jumper is to me.
Yeah, no, he's not going to find it because people think you could just learn how to shoot. It's not like that. It's not like like you got to come to the league basically knowing how to shoot, and then we can improve you. But you got no jumper. We can't sit here for 5 years teaching you a jumper.
It's gonna be multiple off seasons. So like he looks like he has a midi now. He does from the tape I've seen. But I wouldn't like if he left. And it's not because of Milwaukee being a small market or anything like that. It's because I don't like blaming the franchise when it's really your problem. Like, they wall up Giannis. They don't shut down anyone. Like, they're making Chris Middleton beat him, which I get. Chris Middleton isn't, that next level as some people make him seem to be, and Eric Bledsoe never showed up. But they're winning because they're kind of holding you in check. So I'd prefer you to be – it's the same – like, to me, it's more of how when Bron left for Miami, it's no disrespect to Bron, but, like, when his team was more the issue, I understand that. But I'm saying, like, when it's kind of like it is kind of a you thing.
Yeah.
I can't get 100% on board.
Yeah, it's not like Milwaukee hasn't put talent around them. There's been talent.
Yeah, they've done more than Cleveland ever did for Bron. The first time, not the second time.
Yeah.
But the other thing I don't believe these reports that the Bogdanovich trade is like the make all break all. Because
I know.
If he was the reason you're gonna leave, bro, you never really wanted to be there.
Exactly.
Bro, he averages like 13, 5, and 5.
Bogdanovich is a nice player. He could shoot threes. He's a nice player, but
he got a big contract
not making
too.
a break in a team.
He got a big contract too.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Come on, 13, 5, and 5. I'm gonna give you $75 million. Relax.
Yeah, it's teams reach
100%. But hey, bro, it's football time.
Hey,
football time.
Listen, we're huge basketball here, but don't forget, we're huge football fans as well.
Of course.
I've watched so much football this year because of COVID and everything. I was just so excited that they're playing. Every Sunday, I'm glued to the screen. Every Thursday, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday now, because there's games every day of the week.
Every day.
Every day. I'm glued to the screen. I'm making bets. I'm winning some money. I'm losing some money. I'm so excited. So let's get into it. We're going to start a new thing now every week, where it's me versus Eric here because we like doing a little competition. We don't play sports anymore. We need something. To get us going. So we're going to do our picks. We're going to pick every game. We'll pick them outright, who we think is going to win. But then we'll pick it against the spread because we'll probably pick a lot of teams to win that are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm very excited for this week. I'm always looking at the bets and everything.
All right. You want to touch a little on last week with some little things, or just go right into it?
Yeah, let's talk about our teams real quick from last week because I'd love to hear what you guys say about the New York Jets about to get their first W.
Oh my gosh!
15 seconds left. Derek Carr's like, wait, hold that. Wait.
Y'all all coming.
Hold on, John. Is it cover 0? Is cover 0?
Where's the safety?
Henry, go deep. I don't see any. We win the game.
My
next
God.
day, Greg Williams is fired. Seek, please tell me how you feel about this.
Bro, I couldn't help but laugh when it happened. Like, I was watching it live and I was like, you know what? I texted you. I was like, yo, they're going to win. I was like, we're going to win. I don't believe it. We're going to win. And I've said multiple times on our show, on my sports radio, shout out John Antel and Danny Mercado.
Guys.
I said there, I don't really want the number one pick because I don't know what we're going to do, and I don't have confidence in us doing the right thing. So if we win, we win. I don't really care.
Right.
But
funny because I text you. He texts me, and he goes, we're going to win our first game.
And I put laughing emojis. I was like,
you shouldn't even want to win, bro. You should. And he goes, it don't matter. I win 16 or 1 and 15. I'm like, you're right. And
I really don't.
Derek, I just text you, psych. Y'all lost.
Bro, I was watching it with my pops, and I was looking. And then the first time Aguilar beat Marcus May and Derek Carr overthrew him, and I was like, ooh, that one was close. And then I didn't even know – I noticed they were blitzing, but I didn't know that there were no safeties back. I didn't look at that. I thought they just sent the house, and they were going to let him go middle. And they just sent the linebackers, and then they put 2 safeties on the goal line and then manned up on the corners. But – then when Derek Carr threw it, I looked that way.
Oh, no.
Oh, they won!
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, they won. I started dying, bro. I was running. I haven't ran out of a room like that since Villanova hit the shot on UNC. That was so funny. But
Was Greg Williams trying to get fired, bro?
I don't see. Like, I don't think that.
Was
I
he like,
think it
you
was
know,
a pride thing.
that's 100%, man, because that's
Because he
his
does
way.
that.
Right? We're sending it all. We're blitzing. That's what I do, man.
Yeah,
18
like
seconds left. You know it's got to be a deep ball. It's just shocking.
the only thing I don't like about it is Adam Gase came out and said he fired him. And when he said that, I was like, you have no authority to fire anybody. You can't fire your kids.
They're gonna be fired in a couple of weeks from now, kid.
Like, bro, you have no authority to fire anybody.
I don't know now. I don't know the Jets as well as you do. I know their secondary isn't too bad. You've told me with Marcus May and a couple young players. I've been listening to a lot of people talk about, because obviously it was a major headline. Now, I listened to Antoine Bethea talk about it, and he was on Pat McAfee's show, and they were asking him, and he goes, like, can the players, like no, fuck that.
Oh, they can check it. Yeah.
We're not doing cover zero with 15 seconds. And Bethea's like, oh, yeah, I would have said fuck that and talked to the players.
I would have checked it.
We're getting back. Now, they did mention if you're a young guy, right? Like if you're still on your rookie deal or something, you're not going to check the coach, right? You're not going to be like, switch. But if you're a veteran safety or a veteran linebacker and you see the plays messed up, you're going to check it to something else. So the players deserve some of, like, not obviously it's Greg Williams' fault, but players too, man. Like, you're 0-16, the coaches ain't good.
My thing is I would love someone to check it, but then I'm thinking, like, who's our Mike? If it's either Marcus May at safety, who's one of our captains, who's really been a team guy his whole career with New York so far.
It's a tough situation for the player.
Yeah, and then our other, it could be Neville Hewitt, our middle linebacker, and I don't see Neville Hewitt, a former special teamer, just checking it like that. But you did leave cornerback Lamar Jackson out of Nebraska. You left him on an island. Like, I don't know how you expect that.
One of the fastest players in the NFL.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, I don't like it. I don't really care that Greg got fired. I think it was a long time coming since he started criticizing Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that Adam fired him, but, I mean, as long as the whole staff goes to the end of the season, I really don't care. Like, just let them all go, clean house, start over from scratch, and we'll do what we do.
Well, let me tell you about my Indianapolis Colts, because this game was a wild one. It was a wild one. I watched the whole game. Deshaun Watson, now the Texans thing, he is – I don't care what his numbers even are, if they're good or not. He is a top 6 quarterback in the NFL, probably top 5.
Mm-hmm.
We had this man in the pocket with arms, bodies all over him on at least 15 plays, and this kid would shrug him off, spin out of the pocket, run to his right, and throw an absolute dart 30 yards. And I'm sitting there in shock because you got DeForest Buckner, Justin Houston after him, and he is shaking them off, making plays. I'm like, we're going to lose because we're going to lose to one guy. This kid is special, and we've known how good he is, but just watching a full game, I'm like, oh, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. The Colts just didn't play bad. I thought they played an okay game. They played a safe kind of game, but the ending, we were lucky to win. I'll be honest, as a Colts fan, we're lucky to win. Deshaun and them are driving. It's 1st and goal or 2nd and goal. We're up 6. I'm like, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. Phillip ain't putting the drive together here to win us the game. We're going to lose. The snap, botch snap, we fall on it. Hey, a win is a win. A defense made the play.
I told you that was going to be a close game. I felt it, man.
I knew it was going to be a close game. They still covered. They still covered the 3.5. Mm-hmm. So I was right about that. They won by 6. They still
barely.
covered.
Yo, I was so mad when I saw they were on a goal line. I was like, oh, I'm about to get it. 2 games. That and the Raiders game, just like, oh my god.
A win is a win, especially in a divisional game. We're 8-4 now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you told me this season we're 8-4, I'd be a little bit shocked. I knew we're a good team, but I wasn't high on us with Phillip Rivers. So 8-4 has me in a happy place, especially coming into this week, playing the Vegas Raiders, which we'll get into in a little bit later. But I like where my Colts are at. We need to clean up some things, but I like where we're at.
Y'all a playoff team. Y'all probably the second wild card behind Cleveland.
I believe they said they said this before the Titans lost, but if the season ended today, we'd play the Chiefs, which is not what we want.
bad matchup. I
I
mean,
think we could beat the Steelers. I 100% think we could beat the Steelers. If we could get the Steelers
how
somehow.
far are you dropping the Steelers after that week? Now that we're on that, after the Washington loss.
I'm dropping them consistently or not, but a good amount because they have a tough schedule coming up.
They still top 5?
Yes, they're still top 5. They have one loss. If you have them below top 5, you're crazy. Colin Cowherd had them at 8 after they've been 2 the whole year. It's like,
that's nutty.
Come on, man. And let's not act like Washington sucks. That defense is good in Washington.
Yeah.
And they have some Alex Smith. Hey, that's comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I think he is. I don't
awesome.
think there's any way.
Such a great story. They definitely drop. And they have the Bills this weekend, with Josh Allen just came off one of the best games of his career.
You believe in the Bills now? You like the Bills now?
I will say my shit.
I'm happy you came around.
It has. They made me shut up. They're 8-3 or 9-3.
Something
They're
like
9-3. It should be 10-2. Lost to the Cardinals on a Hail Mary. I don't think you could say a 10-2 team stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen has balled out.
I'll be fair too, and I'll dial back my Raiders love after that game. I still think they might get into the playoffs, but I don't know if they're better than Miami anymore. I think they're close.
They're a team that looks like they might be in shambles after going 43-6 to the Falcons and just beating you guys on a Hail Mary.
I think beating us is gonna spark them to hey, we need to stop fucking around. We're lucky we got that. But in other news, Carson Wentz got benched. Jalen Hurts is the new starting quarterback.
I'm excited to see it, man. I'm excited. He threw a dart on 4th and 8 against the Packers for a touchdown. I'm excited to see it. Now, I don't think that game, which we'll talk more about when we make our picks, but they play the Saints, which is one of the best defenses in the league. But be careful, man. You don't have any film on this kid. He really can move and can make some plays.
Who are they playing this week? New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It could be. I think the Saints will win because they're just that good of a team this year. But, I mean, be careful. We've seen it before. When guys come in, you don't have tape on them. They make plays.
Right. I mean, so, do you think Jalen's a franchise guy? What do you think's going to happen with Carson then? Because, in my opinion, and I was talking to G and JJ about this the other day, we were looking at it, and I was like, yo, I don't even think it matters. Because I think you're gonna come into next year and you're just getting Jalen experience because you're coming into next year with the quarterback competition in camp anyway. Because I don't think anyone's taking Carson's contract unless it's the
contract. He has the most guaranteed money in the NFL. No one's taking his deal. That's more than Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan has $100 million.
What are you willing? Let's even change that. What are you willing to trade for Carson Wentz for anything? What round pick is it? Because I feel like it's not going to be a player.
If I'm trading for Carson Wentz, which there's a hell of rumors to the Colts, right, because of Frank Reich, I'm mad at that. If you asked me maybe a couple weeks ago, I'd be interested, but I'm out. I'm out on that. I don't think you could take a guy who's it's obviously mental. He's mentally fucked up.
But couldn't a change of scenery help? Because even we've talked about how
take a chance and give up assets for it. I'm giving you a late pick, man. I'm talking 6th, 5th.
6th?
Maybe a 5th. I'm not giving you any more.
I'm not going to lie. I'd give you a future 3rd and a 5th. Future third, 2 years down the line.
I'm not giving you shit because he looks mentally broke, man. And I think he's talented. And Aaron Rodgers actually just talked about him, I think, yesterday. And he said, the kid is good. I actually admire him. He has a lot of skills. I think he's just been in a really bad situation. When a player like Aaron Rodgers is saying that, then I think there's some truth to it, right? Because he knows more shit than we do about playing quarterback. But definitely Philly, I think the time is up. The QB he's not going to play the rest of the year, I doubt, unless Jalen gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The QB competition will probably be a thing next year because no team's going to want him.
Yeah, and I don't think we both said before we don't think Jalen Hurts is a franchise guy. He might be a starter. From what I saw, I also want to put it in perspective. Green Bay was playing a very, very vanilla cover two the whole time, and he made some plays. I watched the Baldy breakdown on him. He really he did make some good reads. He did miss some throws, but we'll see what he is.
I'm excited though because after we were on John and Tell's show, right? All you guys were hating on him. I said, "Hey, good to get a chance."
See, and I was trying to tell him.
We're gonna give him a chance now. And listen, he's playing the Saints this week, so let's not put too much stock into this week. That defense is fantastic.
It has to be the rest of the season to put it together.
That'd be a whole season.
And I was trying to tell John too, when we talk about a guy that can't throw the ball, and we talk about Lamar Jackson, obviously Lamar Jackson, I don't want to say he can't throw the ball when he was an MVP, even though he has issues. I think Jalen Hurts is a less athletic, but more. He reminds me more of like Dak, but he throws a little like
I would
less
agree.
than
I would
Dak.
agree. Yeah, he
So
runs a little more, throws a little less, but it's more like a Dak than Lamar.
yeah,
I
exactly.
agree. With
So
all that said, let's get into these picks, man.
let's go for it, man. I'm
Let's
ready.
keep track so we know when we come back on Monday, we know who the fuck's the winner because I'm about to beat you.
100%.
You feel me?
Yo, whoa, you don't
We'll
talk
start off
shit, bro. Y'all gonna let
today
him talk shit to this on a new platform?
on a new platform. I'm talking shiznai. You feel me? Now we're talking today, Thursday. Today, the Patriots play the LA Rams. Who are you picking outright?
My first question was what's the spread because I
Okay,
feel like
I'll give you the whole list before I ask you the questions. Patriots are plus 4.5.
ooh.
Obviously, I'm taking the Rams outright, and I'm taking the Rams with the spread too, minus 4.5.
I'm gonna take the Patriots +4. But I'm gonna take the Rams outright because I think the Rams are gonna win, but I think it's gonna be closer than people. Patriots just won 45-0 against Chargers.
Listen. I've had these conversations with a couple people, and they're like, "Listen," I said the same thing. I said, "Hey, Bill Belichick knows how to play Jared Goff, man. We've seen that. He's gonna get pressure on him. Goff hates pressure. It's gonna be. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think it's about a touchdown.
You know what? I'm going. You know what? Fuck that. I'm going Patriots outright too. Patriots gonna win that game.
Woo!
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say about it. I just have a
Okay, all
feeling
right.
that Patriots are gonna win that game.
So you're taking the Patriots both ways.
Yes, sir.
I like that. You're going for it. I like that. My reason is I don't think that the Patriots were going to be able to move the ball against that Rams defense. Also, a little bet I made today that I'll let you in on. Cam Newton's over unders 180 and a half passing yards. Under that.
Under.
Under that.
Yeah, if it was 165, I might take the under.
Under that. Jared Goff's number is 263 and a half. I think that's under against Bill Belichick.
I don't know about that one. I wouldn't touch that one.
I'm taking Damian Harris over at 48 and a half rushing yards.
Hey, Cam Newton, anytime touchdown. He's going to get one rushing touchdown.
But Cam's rushing yards is 42 and a half. I also take an under.
Under 42 for Cam?
I was looking at recent weeks, and I think it was 48 last week. Then the weeks before that, it was like 26, 12.
But you're feeling the Rams, and I'm feeling the Patriots. So that's why I feel different on that.
All right, nice. We started off with different teams. I like
What's the next game?
Next game we got is this game is you could go different ways in this game, and the numbers going up. Arizona Cardinals versus the New York Giants. The Cardinals are getting 2.5.
Cardinals are getting points.
Oh, sorry, I did not mean that. Are giving 2.5.
I was about to say. I was like, the Cardinals are getting points. Cardinals.
Giving, I meant giving.
Listen, I'm saying Cardinals outright.
All the Giants beat the Seahawks last week. We've seen the Cardinals not be the same team. This is a tough one.
I'm not a Giant believer, and it's only because even though they beat the Seahawks, I think the Seahawks kind of beat themselves as they made critical turnovers in portions of the game where they needed to execute. And the Giants, I mean, they're playing okay, but how long is that winning streak going to last? And I'm not a big Arizona fan, but I feel like after last week, they know they need a win. So I think they're going to take it this week.
Good, because I'm going to take the Cardinals outright, but I'm taking the Giants with 2.5.
No, I'm taking both. Cardinals both ways.
I'm taking the Cardinals outright. I think they'll win, but, but I'm just going to take the points. I think in this one, you have to take the points.
See, that's
Giants have been playing good football, man.
They haven't been bad.
Joe Judge seems to be a really good coach.
I just think they're doing it against teams that are kind of question marks, in my opinion. Like, we know Seattle's defense is suspect right now.
100%. I see you. All right. We're going different ways early. I like that. Dallas versus the Bengals. The Bengals are getting 3.5.
These are two bad football teams.
Bad football teams. I'm taking Dallas, and I'm taking Dallas with the points, 3.5.
They're giving 3.5?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Also, I believe Brendan Allen or whatever his name is, the backup.
He hasn't been playing bad.
No, but I think he is hurt. I don't know if he's playing this week, so it might be Ryan Finley.
Ooh. I'll take Dallas outright because of that. But something's telling me to just take the Bengals with the points. What was the how much did the Cowboys lose by? 34-17, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Bengals with the points, but I'm gonna do Cowboys outright.
All
I'm
right.
gonna hedge my bet on that one.
All right. I like that. I like that.
It's just two bad football teams. I can't put that much confidence in either of you.
Yeah. Especially if Ryan Finley's playing QB.
Whoa, hold up. I know we're on football, but Paul George has agreed to a 5-year, $226 million max extension with the Clippers.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Uh,
Damn. We can
that
stay on football, but that's kind of crazy.
no, let's give our takes real quick. That's breaking news. It is a smart but bad move. You know what I mean? Like you're keeping your two stars together, but that's a lot of money from future.
Are you keeping your two stars together? This isn't from Kawhi.
That's true. Actually, it's a bad move.
Is it just keeping one and then just in case because you have no picks?
Yeah, they probably felt like they have to do this from Paul George.
I don't.
Wow.
I really don't know because I don't know what does that tell your team that? Does that mean? I think that means Lou Will's out.
Yeah, I think
that
so.
means Lou Will's got to. They're really gonna do the changing of the guard, and Lou Will and Pat Bev might be gone, especially if they're talking that much shit about PG. Damn. Well, shit. Hey, we do. Hey, give him his flowers for getting his bag, though. Anybody that gets paid like that, you get credit for that much.
He is a rich man.
100%. What's the next game, though?
Next game, we got the Denver Broncos playing the Carolina Panthers, and the Broncos are getting 3.
Didn't they say Christian hinted that he was going to play this week?
Yeah, there's been talk that McCaffrey will play this week.
Did Teddy play last week? Is Teddy out? I haven't paid attention to Carolina.
PJ Walker's been playing for them. Who hasn't been that bad, to be honest.
But if it was Teddy, I'm picking Carolina easy both ways.
I'm taking Carolina with the points. -3.
That's such a hard one.
That is.
I'll say.
Because Denver's defense can make plays, but
this is going to be the funniest bet hedge ever. I'm going to pick Denver outright, but I'm going to pick Carolina giving points.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah, all right.
Just make it interesting. Why not? If Denver plays, if PJ Walker doesn't play good, Denver's going to win.
Yeah.
But if Christian McCaffrey plays, Carolina's going to win by more than 3, I guess.
That's just a shitty game, too.
Don't bet that game. That's what I'm telling people. Just don't bet that game.
There's some games every week you got to stay away from. Broncos-Panthers is definitely that game.
Oh, 100%.
Next, we got Houston going to Chicago. The Bears are getting 1.5 points.
Going to Chicago. Bears are getting 1.5 points.
Listen, Houston's been playing good football.
Houston outright. Houston with the points.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like
Chicago.
Chicago really just has.
Who's starting a QB?
The shit show.
They should just start Tyler Bray and say fuck it. Fuck both of them.
They need to clear house, I think. The whole thing needs to be just changed.
Matt Nagy has to get fired, right?
Has to. They got to find a new quarterback. It's just not good over there. Not good. After a 5-1 start, too, right? I mean,
bro, 3-0. 3-0. I said this before. When you start 3-0, I don't care how bad Trubisky's playing. Don't do it yet. Wait till he f's up and you're losing.
I agree.
Now you're in a situation where you can't start either of them.
Yeah, now you fucked Foles up and you fucked Trubisky up.
Exactly.
All right, next one. This is an interesting one because both teams are good football teams. Kansas City going to Miami. Miami's getting 7.
Kansas City, outright and points. They're going to win by 14.
You think they make a statement over Miami?
They make a statement. I think this is where Miami starts falling. No disrespect to them. I don't think they're a bad team. You had a game with the Bengals last week.
Yes.
And you had a game, and you low-key had a game with the Jets. You're not going to come in and do that against Kansas City.
I'm going to have to agree with you. 7. I really like the Dolphins, but Chiefs are still the best team in football. I think they win by more than a touchdown. Tua had a horrible first half, great second half last week. He's been up and down.
I told you, Tua is probably the third best QB in this draft right now. Not better than Herbert, not better than Burrow.
Yeah, but it's early. Let's relax. But all three of them are good.
That's 100%. Yeah. I just don't know if he's a franchise yet.
We'll see. I think he is.
We'll see. I'm not hating.
Hey, he's got no turnovers.
No picks. He has fumbles.
No picks. Yeah, no picks. 7 touchdowns, no picks. We'll take that out of our rookie.
4 games.
Hey.
7 touchdowns, 4 games.
I ain't mad at it. No picks.
Dubs, too. He's getting dubs. So I respect it.
All right, Vikings playing Tampa. Tampa's coming off a bye. The Vikings are getting 6.5. I'm taking Tampa.
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa. Coming off a bye, both ways.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of points, but
DB12's come through. It's fantasy football playoffs round 1 for me. I need.
Oh, you made the playoffs?
Oh, I'm the 1 seed, son. 11-2.
Bro, my team.
2.
I started off 4-1, and then I went on a 7-game losing streak.
Ooh, damn.
It was bad. Yo, OBJ got hurt. T.Y. Hilton didn't do anything. Hollywood Brown didn't do anything. Josh Jacobs was on and off. Lamar was inconsistent. I got injured.
Yeah, I've been lucky, man. I've only had 1 injury, and it was Odell. Everyone else has been healthy. I'm 11-2. I'm riding high coming into playoffs as the 1 seed, man. I'm feeling good.
Respect. Get that bread.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Donate it to the channel.
We'll get some upgrades around here.
Get some nice upgrades.
Tennessee going to Jacksonville, divisional game. Jacksonville's getting 7.5. Jacksonville's put a lot of teams real close recently.
Tennessee outright, Jacksonville points.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. Going to have to agree. And Tennessee coming off what they do last week. They lost to the Browns.
They got smacked. They had a good little comeback. They're definitely a second-half team.
It was just too late. It was too late.
It was too many points. Look how late it was. I was down 38-7.
That was crazy. I just kept seeing Baker Mayfield touchdown. I'm like, what is happening right now?
I didn't expect that.
Me neither. I'm going to take what are you taking? Say it again.
I said Tennessee outright, but Jacksonville's points.
Okay, I'm going to take Tennessee with the points, and you'll take them just for the win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be by 7. I think Jacksonville's going to make it close out of nowhere.
Jacksonville, for a team that we know is bad, man, they play hard.
Put it this way. If I was betting it, it's Titans money line easy.
Right.
Forget covering. I don't know if they're going to cover.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Next, we have I love this game, and I love this number. Indianapolis Colts going to the Vegas Raiders, and the Raiders are getting 3. Colts. All day.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go Colts, too.
Day. That's an easy one.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colts.
That's my lock right there. That's my lock.
Yeah, I just don't. I can't convince myself to pick Vegas right
Raiders
now.
43-6 lost to the Falcons. Beat the Jets on a Hail Mary win. Colts are coming in playing good football.
Now you got to play Indy. Yeah, that's bad.
That's tough. I know it's in Vegas, so maybe their offense plays.
And Josh Jacobs might still be out.
And he looks to be out. Gruden said he thinks he's not going to be available for Sunday. I love Indy here. Get my boys to 9-4.
I'm telling you, y'all and the Browns are going to be the 2 wild card teams. Then that third wild card is just going to be between Vegas.
It's actually a very big game too, because it's like playing for that wild card, us and the Raiders.
It is. Yeah, I mean, we already talked about New England, but that last spot's going to be between Vegas, New England, and Miami.
Yeah, agreed. All right, your New York Jets going to Seattle.
To Seattle.
And the Jets are getting 13.5. It's a lot of points.
But
Seattle, it's like, can you muster up the strength?
Seattle outright. Let's get that out the way. Seattle outright.
But can you take the Jets with 13.5? Can you do it? Come on.
Do I have faith? The Seattle just lost to the Giants.
Exactly. Seattle's not playing good football. Is Russell Wilson stink? His most turnovers.
I don't think Russell Wilson stinks. I don't want to go that far. Who's going to guard DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett? Let's get that out the way. I don't know who's going to do that. So I'm gonna say it's a 21-point victory. for
That's a good
Seattle.
point. I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna take Seattle on the points. You just can't take the Jets. You just really can't.
It's not even that. It's just that like any other team, I would like if this was like the Raiders. When I look back, I probably should have took the Jets points, but it was only 7.5. If it was 13.5, I would have took it.
Oh yeah.
But like, I just don't know who's gonna match up with DK.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's too hard. So
Yeah, now that you bring it up, it might be a big day for that passing offense.
yeah, they're gonna rebound.
Yeah.
And Jamal Adams can get his revenge.
That's true. It's a revenge game for Jamal.
Bro,
Yeah.
I don't. Did you like how he responded to the Giant game? He said losing to a team in New York. I'm not trying to be a hater because like I do like the guy still. Like he's still a top safety in the league in my opinion. But I think a lot of things have been proven right where he's not like a Tyrann Mathieu. He's not really a cover guy, and
bad.
he's not really sitting there and doing anything special right now because you can only really blitz him off the edge and match him up on a tight end.
Agreed. All right. Damn, your New York Jets are just going to keep falling, huh?
Yeah, of course. What are you talking about?
It's a shame.
They want Trevor. Bro, I put this on Twitter the other day. So are we smart for tanking if Trevor Lawrence is ass?
Obviously not.
But here's the thing. Everyone wants to say, oh, tanking smart, tanking smart. What team have we seen in any sport succeed at tanking? Like, Philly hasn't won a championship. I know we go, oh, my God, Philly got Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. They also drafted Jahlil Okafor. Like, and Nerlens Noel. And they have not won a championship yet.
That's true. Tanking normally doesn't work no matter what.
Exactly. So can they just try to win a game? And if they go 0-16, like, legitimately, like, let them go 0-16 legitimately.
Yeah, you're right. I feel you.
What's the next game after the Jets game? I know the Monday night game is big.
Yeah, after the Jets is Falcons, Chargers. Chargers getting 2.5.
Well, I don't even want to talk about that game.
First of all,
time.
Probably stay away from that game. The Chargers look like they've given up now. I mean,
Chargers are getting 2.5.
Yeah.
Falcons both ways.
Yeah,
They're on a little run right now.
It's sad to see that the Chargers have been playing as bad as they have been with the talent on the team.
Anthony Lynn's going to get a defensive coordinator job.
Cannot manage a game for shit.
He's going to get a defensive coordinator job somewhere. He reminds me of Todd Bowles. And that's like no like disrespect to the man. It's just like
Todd Bowles is better, I think.
Nah, I don't want to say that because he couldn't do shit with the team either.
Yeah, that team stunk though.
No, we went 10-6 with that team. That was the last time the Jets had a winning record.
And y'all got rid of
Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker.
That shows right there how good Bowles is. Keep his ass.
And then after that, we went like 3-13 and like 2-14 maybe.
That's true. All right, next one, Packers going to Detroit. Detroit's getting 7.5. Game.
Packers. Detroit spread, but Packers.
Yeah.
All right. Matt Stafford's going to be dealing.
Hey, Matt Stafford's a baller, man. He had a big day last week.
He's probably a top 10 guy the more I think about it.
I agree. Packers outright, Lions plus 7.5. What did you just say? He's top 10, you said?
Probably.
I agree, yeah. I
put him ahead of and this is no disrespect to your boy, I put him ahead of Kyler right now.
Because of Kyler's down. His play's been down the last couple weeks.
He's too inconsistent. That's all it is.
And it's been since the shoulder injury. That's what it seems like. So I can see why you say that. What was that number again? 7.5? Yeah, that's a lot of points.
It's just because it's a division game. I think it's going to be close.
Agreed. All division games are close normally. Saints, Eagles, Jalen Hurts first start. Eagles getting 6.5.
Saints and Saints giving 13.5.
Yeah.
I'll change the line.
I agree. That's
if the Eagles win, that might be one of the upsets of the year. That'd be up there with Washington and the Giants.
That would be awesome.
And the Raiders against the Chiefs, actually. That was one of the biggest upsets of the year.
We got to talk about this one. Washington, because of the run they're on, going to the 49ers. Washington's getting 3.5.
Washington with the points and outright. Just make it interesting.
I think so, too.
Ride the heat wave.
I agree.
Even though the Niners might be more talented.
And both teams, I think, are actually coached pretty well. Ron Rivera, sometimes I question, but
I like Kyle Shanahan.
I think right now Kyle Shanahan's great, I think. And I think Rivera's good right now.
If that team wasn't hurt, I think they would still be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, 100% they would be. Jimmy G stinks though.
But the NFC is in a bad spot. Like you have questions with all those NFC teams right now. Even New Orleans, because New Orleans does this every year.
Also, to combat that, you also have, well, you have these questions, but then you have that they could play so damn good. Like the Packers defense, we question, but if they put it together 1 week, you're not beating them because of the offense. You know what I mean?
True. The Packers do have the least questions out of anyone, but their run defense is so bad.
Defense is bad. That's true. All right. This is a great game. Steelers coming off their first loss. Are they going to lose 2 in a row? They are the underdog going to Buffalo. Steelers are getting 2.5. Ooh, wee.
That's a hard pick. I think the Steelers are going to rebound. I'm going to take them with the points and outright.
I think in this game you got to just take the points. I'm going to take the Steelers plus 2.5.
But if you're taking it plus 2.5, the odds are they're going to win. You don't get a lot of 1-point losses.
Yeah, I'm going to just take them both ways, you know. But that's going to be one hell of a game, I think.
I still think the weirdest game this week has to be Carolina and Denver. That is such a weird game.
That is such a weird game. It's like, what the hell is going to happen in that game?
It's just going to be like, it's not going to be good football.
No. And then Monday night, huge.
That's a huge game.
Baltimore looks like, hey, maybe we got back to the way we play football on Monday night or on – when did they play? Tuesday? Mm-hmm. Now they play Monday. They go to the red hot Cleveland Browns. And
I want to see something before I pick that game.
The Browns are the underdog getting 1.5. This game is gonna be interesting.
I gotta see one.
I talked a lot of shit on John's show about how the Browns are gonna start losing, and it would start last.
And they haven't done it yet.
And they absolutely obliterated the Titans. I don't care. The Titans came back. The game was over. They made me shut up. I'm not a believer in the Ravens and Lamar.
You gave up on them now too?
Yeah, I think so. They looked good last week. But
I told you they weren't that good.
Lamar can't throw. He can't throw. He doesn't know when to throw. It's bad.
Like I said, I don't want to say he can't throw, but he is not.
No, last year he could throw. I don't know what's happened, but this year he's not as good as throwing.
He doesn't have a dynamic offense as it was last year.
I'm taking Cleveland. I'm taking Cleveland outright. Let's do it. End the points. Give me Cleveland, man.
I'm going to take Baltimore, even though I don't really believe in them. And my reasoning is going to be they're 8th in rushing defense, and I think it's going to be a straight ground game for both teams. I don't think they're going to try to make both teams throw the ball, and I'm just going to go with the better run defense then.
It's definitely going to be a close game. Probably come down to a field goal at the end.
I say 20. If I had to guess the score, I'd say 24-13 Baltimore.
This is going to be a run-heavy game.
Oh,
I mean, it's just going to be handoff after handoff. The over-under is 46.5.
I think people are sleeping on Baltimore's defense, though. They're 3rd in pass and 8th in rushing. So even though their offense isn't that good, like Cleveland's, it's still Baker Mayfield.
It all comes down to Baker.
And is that all the games? There's no Tuesdays this week, right?
So, yeah, that should be
a regular week. Thursday, Monday, Sunday.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh,
we've had wacky weeks because of COVID, man.
100%.
It'll be cool to see who picks more. Probably gonna be me, but that's fine.
It's probably gonna be this guy over here, man. Goes all favorites and then goes, "I told you."
I think all favorites suck it.
Hey, well, there is something I know you wanted to get into. The season is coming to a close soon.
Yeah.
So while this is a long episode, we have our MVP picks for the NFL. Top 5 guys. I really have 6, but my 5 is between 2 guys.
Okay, well we can just get the top 2 right off because we know who the top 2 are.
Who's number 1?
Patrick Mahomes.
Agreed.
2 is Aaron Rodgers.
Agreed.
Any other way, if anybody's listening, you're an idiot. It can't be different. It literally can't.
It's too big of a gap.
It's too big of a gap. It's going to come down to them too.
Who's your 3? That's what I really want to know because my 3 is off the board.
My three, I don't even know. I don't even feel good. I'm going to go with
I know who you're gonna say.
Josh Allen.
That's
Josh
fair.
Allen. Listen, a couple weeks ago, I was saying, I think they're going to fall off. He's kept it going. Last week, he had almost 400 yards. He's going to make a case for it. I think it's a distant third, but he's there.
You want to hear my
Who you
third?
got? Oh, God. Who
You
is it?
might love it actually.
Who we got?
T.J. Watt.
Ooh.
Do the Pitts? Because my biggest question was, you know
Okay.
what? Does Pittsburgh, even though they just lost, does Pittsburgh go 11-1 without T.J. Watt?
No, I think it's clear right now that TJ Watt is the defensive player of the year.
Exactly. So I'm done with this only quarterbacks can get MVP bullshit
I
because
like that. See,
I think T.J. Watt should get real consideration. I think it's a distant
hey,
third,
him.
but
I will ask you this though: why him over Myles Garrett?
I'm gonna say because TJ leaves the league in sacks on the best defense in the NFL,
That's a valid
and they
point.
have a significantly better because I feel like the MVP. Like I was looking at if you're the MVP of the league, I'm assuming you're the MVP of your team, right?
Yes, I would think so.
Who's the MVP of the Browns? Nick Chubb or Myles Garrett? Even though Nick Chubb was out 4 games. See, that's close, right? That's an argument.
That's an argument.
Now, who's the MVP of the Steelers?
Yeah, it's TJ Watt, man.
So I think he deserves real consideration. Obviously, he won't win it. He's not going to get it over Mahomes or Rodgers. But
Nah,
I would love him to be the third finalist as of right now.
I like that, Seek. I really like that. I really do.
And since we already mentioned him, my fourth is Josh Allen
Josh Allen.
because he
Yeah,
deserves consideration too.
he does. He definitely does. I think a guy who's lost a little bit of steam in this, he's not on my list, is Derrick Henry because of the bad week last week.
Mm-hmm.
He's not on my list, but I just saw his name. That's why I'm on the same. But I am going to go with Myles Garrett because he's going to be at 4 for me because I think the Browns are going to keep it going. I think they're going to win this week. That defense is going to do well against the Steelers. And we've seen when he is out, that Browns defense is nowhere near what we thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's in the game, he is just a game wrecker, man. He is insane.
I agree.
I was watching a Twitter clip of this man being held on every play.
They just don't. They don't call it. They don't care.
They don't call it, and he was still pushing through the line. He's incredible.
He is a dog. I do think it's funny now. Like obviously, this isn't joking around because he does deserve his nomination for Walter Payton Man of the Year for what he's done for the city of Cleveland. Yeah. But I do think it's funny that he's probably going to win that award right after hitting someone in the head with a helmet.
That's true.
It's like, yo, he is such a great guy, except that one time.
Except that one time, yeah.
Where he should have been, like, arrested for assault. But, like, it's okay. It's fine.
All right, go ahead. Tell me who your last guy is. You're probably not going to
My last one's split. I couldn't decide. So I'm just going to mention both of them.
Go ahead.
Take your pick. It could be whoever you want out of them. Mine is between Derrick Henry and Russell Wilson because I think Derrick Henry might get a 2,000-yard season. And if he does that, I don't really care what the Titans did. He deserves consideration. And I don't want to ignore Russell Wilson's first half of the year just because he didn't have a good second half of the year.
My fifth, which right now, you know, he's been up and down this year. I think he's going to finish the year really strong. And that is TB12 Tom Brady.
Ew.
People want to bag on Brady, saying he's not the same Brady. If you look at his numbers, they're still elite. The Buccaneers are going to go on a run. They have an easy schedule. They're going to finish probably 11-5, win their last 4. TB12's at number 5, and he might creep up the list.
I'd consider putting him over Derrick. Maybe not Russell then.
Also because he is my fantasy quarterback, and
you're 11-12.
I come on,
I'm
man.
11-12, so
I mean, like, come on, man. Let's. I think that's it.
Yeah, and hey, I have a few quick topics before we get out of here. Just a few things just to end it. Obviously, great show today. Great way to go onto Podbean and other services, and really try to get on other platforms and expand our range for y'all. But some quick hitters. Number 1, Mayweather versus Logan Paul. It's on. How do you feel?
Shocked that it's actually going to happen. So funny that Logan Paul is technically 0-1 in boxing, and he lost to another celebrity YouTuber or whatever the hell KSI even is. What is he? I don't even know what he does.
I have no idea, bro. I don't listen to either. I don't watch.
I don't know who that is, if he's a rapper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He lost, and now he's going to fight the greatest boxer of all time. Now, this is what everyone said. Logan Paul's huge, man. He's huge. Floyd's small. Bro, I don't give a fuck.
So what?
I don't give a fuck if Logan Paul was 7 foot and he was the big show and he was getting in there with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is going to pick him apart, and I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it either.
I will watch the highlights when they drop, and I'll see the notifications. I'm not watching it.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean,
Floyd is saying, oh, you want to pay me $500 million for me to just punch this guy in the face and him not hit me one time? Yeah, I'll do that.
See, this is a big question that I heard on the Joe Budden podcast. Why would Floyd take this? Like,
and that's what shocked me. When I said I didn't think it was gonna happen, it's because of that. I didn't think Floyd would take a fight against the YouTube guy.
I thought he would fight Jake because Jake just knocked out Nate Robinson.
Shout out to the Paul brothers because they're reeling in the dough.
Shout out to Jake.
They got a lot of haters. But
Isn't Logan the one that obviously this is not very appropriate. Isn't he the one that found that body or whatever and put it on YouTube or some shit? They did. One of them did some shady shit like that. But
I remember them from Vine back in the day.
Vine.
But congrats to them because he's gonna make so much money fighting Floyd Mayweather. It's gonna be ridiculous.
He is gonna get his bag. Shout out to him. But I think Mayweather
really hurt.
Mayweather's pockets might be a little low. That's the only reason I think he's doing it. I know he's Floyd Money Mayweather, and I don't want to accuse him of losing his money.
He spends that money like he's Floyd Money. That's why.
Exactly. So I'm not buying it. You're not buying it. It is what it is. Shout out to Floyd for getting another knockout for the first time in a minute. Trevor Ariza might get bought out by the Thunder. Sign with the Lakers. You buy it?
I think it's a good. Obviously, no point of him being on a Thunder roster. Get rid of him. Lakers. When I look at that small forward spot, who you got?
LeBron.
Not the number one guy.
KCP.
KCP's like a 2-3. I mean, I guess you could use another body in there, but it's not anything important in my opinion.
Yeah, the way the rotation's gonna go, he's not gonna play.
He's not gonna play unless KCP is out with an injury or something. But it's good to have that there. So
yeah, I don't think they have to do it, but it is what it is. Hope he comes. I mean, if he comes back, he comes back. He'll get the Dion Waiters shit. He'll just sit there and enjoy the day.
Hey, he'll get there. He might get a ring from sitting on the bench.
Facts. Marshawn Lynch is talking about coming back again for the third time. Where? Do you think he goes back to Seattle? He says he's been in contact with teams. I don't know who really has a running back problem like that.
No, I don't believe
Vegas. Vegas.
I love Marshawn. He's obviously a character. People love him, but it's been a while now since he was a real running back.
Agreed.
No team. Seattle's not going to do it. They got Chris Carson. There's no point of bringing in Marshawn Lynch. I don't think he comes back.
Last one. Trae Young's getting a signature shoe. You buying it?
With Adidas?
Mm-hmm. You buying it?
It's kind of early, no? It's kind of early.
You want to see it first? I want to see it first.
It's kind of early for him to get a shoe, and no, I'm not buying it because I don't buy Adidas. So
that's fair. I like Donovan Mitchell's shoes. I wouldn't hoop in Adidas.
Do you think he deserves a shoe yet?
Donovan Mitchell has a shoe.
No, Trae Young.
Oh, Trae Young? Why not? He averaged 30 last year.
Team's ass, bro. What you gonna get a shoe for?
So what? My team's ass. What does that mean? I can't get a shoe because my team.
I guess everybody gets a shoe these days, but
everyone does. Alonzo has a shoe.
Yeah, Kuzma got a shoe or no? Yeah, he does. Right?
Don't tell me Kuzma has a shoe. I know he's on Puma. Isn't he on Puma?
He might
I hope he doesn't have a shoe. That'd be horrible.
That's true. Everyone gets.
That's like Kevin Knox having a shoe.
I guess he could get a shoe, but I ain't buying them. Checks over stripes. That's what I like.
Gordon Hayward had a shoe come out with Anta. It actually looks tough. I wouldn't wear it, but it looks tough.
Anta, come on, what is that? Hey, what is that?
Way of that's not Anta.
Way of Wade.
Is that Anta? Or is that leaning?
That's yeah.
Nah. Hey, bro. I'm excited to see what it looks like. That's all it is. I feel like Trae Young got some style, so we'll find out.
That's true.
And I think that's it, bro. I think we could wrap it up. First episode on Podbean. We're going to get, for y'all waiting too, obviously this can go on YouTube too, but we're going to try to get our whole catalog on Podbean as well, and upload at least from episode 6 on. And then we'll probably get it on Apple Music, barring approval, and same with Spotify.
Yes, sir, man. This is a great episode. Fun to do all this shit.
100%. Shout out Travis Kelce, 99 Club.
Woo, get them gold shits. That's
that gold chain. I love that. The 10's hard for y'all, but a 99 would be crazy.
That's dope. He deserves it too.
All right, man. So I think we're out, bro.
Be out, son.
Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, like, rate. I don't know if you can comment. I think you could do comments and rating. Whatever you want to do, bro. Just do something.
We're new, so fucking join us as, if you start listening to
podcasts. Download, do those. I think that's a big thing in it. So
swipe right, whatever, dude.
Bro, swipe right on Brofluent podcast. All right?
Swipe right, like whatever they do these days.
All right, show. Love having y'all. Great show. Catch y'all later. Deuces.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Brendan Murphy, host of the Murphy's Law podcast. Every Tuesday and Friday, I bring you the latest news and notes from around the world of sports. We mostly cover baseball, football, and golf, and I bring in a lot of different guests to help me break down the biggest news of the week. If you're enjoying Brofluent, be sure to come and check out Murphy's Law every Tuesday and Friday, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you get your podcast. I hope to see you there, and enjoy the rest of this episode of Brofluent.